Part 2. Azure Moon. Blue Sea Moon. The Impregnable Fortress. When Claude steps down as its leader, the Leicester Alliance disbands, and its lords swear fealty to the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. The chaos in the kingdom begins to dissipate as the people unite under Dimitri's rule. Riding this momentum, the Kingdom Army prepares to march south for a decisive battle against Imperial forces.
We will finally have our decisive battle with the Empire this month.
The Eastern Lords are in the process of consolidating all of the troops within the entire kingdom. In addition, ever since Aryan Road's liberation, the Western Lords have been declaring their fealty, one after another.
Affairs within the kingdom have calmed down considerably, and we even managed to win over the Alliance.
Although it was a rough go at first, I'm starting to feel like we could actually win this.
That's true. Thinking back on it now, we've really come a long way.
We even have a lead as to where Rhea is located. It is as we predicted all along. If we are to rescue Rhea, then we must defeat the Emperor. If we're going to march from the Monastery to Inbar, then we'll have to cross the Great Bridge of Myrddin again, right?
Yes, I believe so. As we have gained the Alliance's support, we should not have any trouble this time. After the bridge, we can cross Gronder Field and head south. And then we'll take Mercius, the so-called Impregnable Fortress that towers on the other side.
An impregnable fortress?
Fort Mercius, I know of it. They say it rivals even Aryan Road.
Count Burgleys, the Empire's Minister of Military Affairs, once had troops stationed there. But according to our spies, a large-scale military force has entered the stronghold. Perhaps they are gathering soldiers from various regions to compensate for their losses.
Can we really prevail? Or should we avoid it?
It's unlike you to worry so. But I feel we have no choice but to strip that place of its impregnable reputation. Once we take Fort Mercius, Enbar will be within reach. This is the Empire's last chance to stop us from arriving at our goal.
In other words, if we take this fort, then our blades will be at the Emperor's throat in no time.
If this is the last fort between us and them, then the Emperor will likely do everything she can to strengthen its defenses.
I just received a report on that very subject. The one commanding the troops stationed at Fort Mercius is someone we have crossed blades with many times. It is the Death Knight who awaits us there.
Alright, well, hello, welcome back to Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Last time, we helped Claude out, and, well, Claude stepped down from being the ruler of the Alliance, and now the kingdom has greatly expanded. We have no paralogs, so it's just go through the month, and next time get ready for the mission. And as always, to Abyss. Alright, and as we enter Abyss, I believe we only have about 5 episodes left, including this one, so we're almost done with the game.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The Alliance is a thing of the past now. Times are changing fast these days. It's hard to keep up, even for me. I wonder if Abyss is on the verge of change too. Change leads to uncertainty, and uncertainty leads to change? I don't know, I'm just a guard.
I would say uncertainty tends to lead to fear more than anything else, but alright, good try, Bal. Alright, so who do we got over here? We got Constance and Balfus.
So, Claude abandoned the Alliance and ran off. I have a pretty good idea of where he went. Where anyone would go in his situation. Somewhere he belongs.
Oh, and where did he go?
Good question. Here's a hint. He's probably not in Fodlan anymore.
No, definitely not.
Gone, but he left his troubles behind. Now it's on us to clean up his mess.
Yes, I believe we can get a little bit more, better idea of where he went upon going through the Golden Deer house storyline and all that. Anyways, Constance.
It's not that I don't sympathize with Lady Edelgard's goals, mind you, but perhaps not to the point of shedding blood for her ideals.
Some ideals are worth fighting for.
Of course, but I've gone down a different road. Peace in Fodlan and a restored House Nouvelle shall be my guiding star as I blaze my own trail.
So the Alliance is finished, is it? The leader's gone? That damn prince. Seems my role here is at an end. No matter. Should another chance present itself, I'll take a less subtle route.
Oh, sounds like you were a... You was a spy for Claude. Dang it, boy.
We need to mop up the mess in the kingdom quickly. My family lives in Fargus, as do my people. I want to avoid exposing them to danger.
Your family? Your people?
That's right. Those who work for me, and with me. They've entrusted their lives to me. They trust me. So for them, more than anything, I hope we can end this swiftly and give everyone the lives they deserve.
Aww. Oh, doesn't that sound nice? Alright, last off. Hello there, Happy.
Everyone seems pumped about fighting the Empire at long last. Personally, I find it difficult to get excited about killing people, no matter what side they're on. I'm on yours. It's that simple. If you fought alongside the Imperial Army, so would I.
I don't know if it's so much the excitement of fighting the Empire as much as hopefully getting this war over soon. Anyways, a broken iron bow, a mostly used up iron lance, and a mostly used up steel sword. Alright. Alright, I think I want to change things up a little bit. Let's go to the sauna and Mercedes. You're very close to getting another ability class, however you want to phrase it, to being S rank. So, oh, I probably should have. Oh well. Let's see what happens. Increase the steam. More steam. But yeah, as I was saying, I believe this is like, I believe this month and the last month is our last chance to actually get some skill experience for not only us, but also our students. And I believe afterwards all we got is fighting. Alright, Mercedes, you're like right there. No. That didn't go the way I wanted it to. Dang it. I thought for sure she was gonna overheat, therefore I didn't want to increase the steam more, but I guess I should have. Oh well. Ah, hello there. It's been a while since I've seen anybody out here.
We defeated Lord Arundel. The Emperor must have been surprised. If we can keep up that fervor, perhaps we'll capture Fort Mercius and move on to the Imperial capital. We must not be overconfident, though.
We're gonna win, but let's proceed with caution.
Yes, I concur. Humans and beasts are ultimately the same. When they're cornered, they lash out however they can. They fight for their lives. Who knows how the Emperor will lash out? We have to be careful.
We took quite the detour. It was time-consuming, but finally, we got the information we needed. We crush the Empire, we get Lady Rhea back. 2 birds, 1 stone. First, we take Fort Mercius. I'll put my heart in it. I'll crack him like a rusty helmet.
Okay, maybe calm down just a little bit. Alright, I think it's a gauntlet today? No, it's the Ultimate Sword Tournament. There's a sword tournament this month. The best of Fodlan has to offer, ready to show off their skills. Well then, Felix, show them what you're made of. Oh, unlucky! God dang! There we go, that was much better off.
Just as we suspected, Lady Rhea was taken to the Imperial capital. We must get to the capital as quickly as possible. So many people are worried sick about her. I do wonder when Claude managed to learn Lady Rhea's whereabouts. He's pretty shrewd. I can't help but admire him.
I wonder where Claude will go. From the sound of it, he's leaving Fodlan altogether. He was strangely gallant about the whole thing. He even left his relic behind. Elusive and mysterious to the end, isn't he?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I need to give... Well... I don't know if you'll take any damage for it, but... Let's trade that bow for... this one. So the Parthia was 1585, 710. 1875, 9, and 20. So more attack, less accurate, but 2 to 3 range with a little bit more weight and a better chance to get crits. You won't be able to use the Hero's Crest. You won't be able to use the Crest Bearer's Fallen Star, but still, it's a pretty good bow. But yes, as I was kind of saying before, we don't have a lot of options left in... Well, we don't have a lot of time left in this game. We are very much near the end. So if there's anything you want to try and do with any of your students, any supports, any classes you want them to get, do it now, before it's too late.
I have excitement in my heart for secret tactics. I enjoy attacks that are surprising. I thought we could be using attacks like that at this fortress. But I am hearing a different thing. A brute force attack with all of our power, yes? Attacks that are surprising are also safer. Attacking from the front is dangerous. But I will give you all of my fighting spirit, Professor.
Glad to hear it. I think it depends on what both you and the enemy are expecting. Sometimes a surprise attack could be useful, and sometimes going on the front can be a surprise.
My family made it through the conflict unscathed. Thank the goddess. It seems that Deirdre was the only place to really get caught up in the fighting. Did Claude intend to spare the Alliance territories from harm? If so, he's a truly admirable leader. Speaking of Claude, I wonder where he is.
Definitely not in Vargas. Probably out doing something with family. And Ned, you look so sad.
Oh, Professor, good timing. You have to talk some sense into my father. Recently, he's been doing nothing but work himself to the bone. Even when he's taking breaks from training and errands, he's apparently listening to reports, day in and day out. He's getting on in years, you know? I just want him to take care of himself.
I'll do my best, but...
Pardon me.
He's probably doing all this to ensure that the war goes, well.
We're finally going to attack the Empire? I'm actually getting a little nervous. Please defeat the Emperor and save Lady Rhea. I'll be waiting here with all of the necessary preparations for a huge celebration.
You do that, kid. So, what do we got in the greenhouse? Thank you. A golden apple. All right. Yeah, not a lot left. That's a little bit sad, considering just not only how long have we been doing this one, but just how far we've come. Granted, I still have the other 2 houses to eventually play through and all that, so the game is not anywhere near done, but it's just like... this entire storyline and plotline and everything else is, well, almost over with.
Is it true Lady Rhea was taken to the Empire? Why'd they take Lady Rhea? Professor, they didn't take her to kill her, did they?
I don't think so. If they were planning to do that, they would have done that already.
Yeah, good point. If they did, we'd have heard about it by now. You gotta help her, Professor. I'm begging you.
I know, Cyril, I know. We'll do everything we can and more to save her. Greetings, Gatekeeper. Oh. Hello. Am I interrupting?
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Is it true that we'll be assaulting Fort Mercius next? That doesn't sound like the brightest idea. I've heard that it's built to withstand an attack from even the largest of armies. And not to tell you how to do your job, but don't do it. I'm not ready to say my final goodbyes to everyone.
Literally, and I'm just talking about the fact, like, we're almost nearing the end, and he's like, I don't want to say goodbye.
Unbelievable.
Aw.
The Alliance is just gone. It's hard to believe. The merchants of Deirdre all have nerves of steel. I'm sure they'll be up and running again in no time.
Yeah, that comes to question what's really going to happen now. Like, that should make trade a little bit easier since you're not going from one country to another. But yes, how did that work out with everything? I have all this money, and I really possibly maybe should think about buying this stuff, but I'm like, nah. I have enough as it is. And honestly, I think I'm going to use all that stuff that I got probably on Dimitri, just to make him super uber powerful. But, like, that might be a bonus episode. I probably, yeah, the plan is to go through the thing normally once, and then buff up Dimitri, and then go for that a second time.
What do you require?
Anyways, let me get all this stuff down here real quick, and be back in a sec. Alright, Sylvain, how you doing?
You know, Professor, laying siege to a keep is like asking a girl out on a date. First, you get past her defenses, then you make your move.
You might be right.
See, you get it. Our fearless leader, on the other hand, he's never been good with the ladies. Anyway, I figure you go after the main gate. You take that out, and I'm sure we can win. Of course, you're making the tactical calls. I'm happier to follow than to lead.
Well, strategically, if we can get to the main gate, that means our forces can get in, because the main gate's usually what's going to keep people out, well, that and the walls. So if you can break the gate, or besiege the gate, then hopefully everything else can come crumbling down alongside it.
The Alliance has really been disbanded? I never thought such a thing could happen. As long as it doesn't negatively impact our lives, I don't care much whether we're the Kingdom or the Alliance.
With the Empire destroyed, the borders within Fodlan will likely become a thing of the past. With that, the rules of trade will change. Personally, I'm excited to see what these changes will bring.
Yeah, I was just mentioning that. Although it comes to the question of, can they keep these walls down forever? Or will eventually a new alliance, a new kingdom, and a new empire eventually be formed? I mean, I'm pretty sure the entire land was once the empire until the kingdom split up and the alliance split up from that.
Have you heard of the Crescent Moon War? That's when the Alliance won their independence from the Kingdom. Some 300 years ago, the ruling Duke of Leicester died without an heir, and the lords with blood ties to House Blathen took that chance to propose ruling the Leicester territory as a republic. The head of House Regan led the Leicester lords and fought fiercely with Farkas. They won independence from the Kingdom. And now, here we are.
How's this? Weren't the Kingdom and Alliance once part of the same country? If you think about it that way, it makes sense for them to unite. I suppose the Kingdom was once part of the Empire as well. Even if Fodlan came together, I wouldn't be surprised if it fell apart again.
Yeah, again, what I'm just saying. I swear to God, I did not play the Blue Lights before. I am going through this for the first time. Gilbert, how about you come and join me for some blessed jelly? Morphet's Plum Jelly. Allies gain 2+ luck for the rest of the month.
I have some experience with cooking. I'm sure I can aid you in the kitchen. Let me consider. How the meal tastes affects the morale of the troops. An army marches on its stomach.
I agree. Thank you. Anyway, what's today's special? I was gonna say, a lot of my guys should be happy as it is. That's a lie. They're halfway happy because I had them take a day off last time. Anyways, hello you two.
Yeah.
I'm so glad about the friendship could increase. That's the other thing, like, I'm pretty much maxed out friendship support with the main cast. Not counting a lot of the supplementary extra characters that I have alongside me that I'm not using. They'll all get their time to shine eventually.
I traveled to Kingdom territory because I was nearby. I did some good business. Apparently, supplies are needed to reconstruct the Kingdom capital and the surrounding towns. I wonder where I should go next.
Yeah, merchants are thriving right now from this war economy.
I've come here after getting chased out of the Empire. There's no place for our kind there anymore.
But there are still many inside Empire territory who haven't abandoned their faith in the Church of Seiros. I pray that one day we'll get the chance to rebuild the church within the Empire.
Makes sense. Edelgard probably doesn't want the church, so people are likely doing everything they can in secret. If they still have their faith, that is.
So Lady Rhea was in the Empire all this time. Wish I'd known that 5 years ago. But there's nothing we can do about it now. What we can do, though, is topple the Empire. Will you seize victory with us, Professor? For the sake of the late Captain!
I will. And for our friends along the way.
Hi.
Death Knight. Going to fight the Death Knight.
You seem concerned.
To be perfectly honest, I am.
Yes, so... if I had her and another character, we would get a paralogue actually dealing with the Death Knight, because, spoilers, the Death Knight's her brother. Yeah. It's a shame. I didn't want to, like, spoil myself, so I didn't look things up until, obviously, it was too late. And I'm like, oh, well, that sucks that I couldn't show that one off. But I can't show it off in this one, but I can show it off in another playthrough.
Doesn't matter how sturdy to keep. If the commander defending it is incompetent, it can fall as easy as anything. That's
just like an army.
I wonder if that applies to Fort Merceus. All I know is, if I was the Emperor, I'd never in a million years assign an incompetent commander to a fort as important as that one.
I don't know. You would think that, but some people get lazy, some people think that what they have is good enough, and then wears and tears and breaks in the armor appear that eventually go from small little cracks to full-on holes in the wall. I was not trying to do that.
The Bishop has been taken to the Empire, just as we thought. But why hasn't Edelgard killed her yet? If she intended to use her as a hostage, she'd have publicly announced that she was unharmed. We don't know what the Emperor's intentions are. All we can do is fight on and pray the Archbishop is okay.
They definitely have some use for her, but yeah, we have no idea what. Alright, how many today? Just one. Isn't there a way to turn withered, barren land into soil that is rich and abundant with crops? It pains my heart to see people dying of starvation. Check the library book for unique farming techniques. Maybe there's a medical solution. Maybe there's a crop that can grow on withered land. Nope, okay. Probably check the library. Hello, Lysithia.
Something about Lord Arundel rubbed me the wrong way. There was something off about him.
Not that I've ever heard anything good about him. Have you ever heard of the Harim family?
I'm afraid I have not. Are they from the Empire?
Correct. Their lands are due south of the Ordelia territory. Since Edelgard's rule, Lord Arundel had been governing the territory. It seems like his reign was particularly cruel. The people there suffered greatly under him. He seemed to be a good and just person at one point. It simply doesn't make sense.
Again, the idea about people being replaced. It's just, how did they do it? Professor Hanneman?
Fort Merceus is the Empire's single most fortified military installation. Utterly impregnable, they say. I wonder, do you happen to know the nickname given to Fort Merceus?
The Silver Maiden, Fodlan's Locket, the Stubborn Old General.
Indeed, a very good answer. But of course, you'd know that. Seems Fodlans give everyone and everything a nickname. Why, you were called the Ashen Demon. Myself, I have been called the Father of Crestology, which is a nickname as well as a title, I suppose.
Well, where that title was pride, man. Where it was pride. Manuela, hello.
Be
step closer to Enbar, I'm reminded of another part of my past. Riches and poverty, glory and failure. That city has it all. And if I'm honest, sometimes I miss it. That's how the past works, though, isn't it? It's always a different story than what you really lived.
We remember the good, and usually tend to forget the bad. I always think of the past being much better than it actually was.
It appears that Claude has dissolved the Alliance. He's thrown away the pride of all the Leicester Lords who have walked the path of independence from Fargus for generations. I said from the start that he was not suitable to lead.
But even you.
Well, times have changed, haven't they? I suppose we can trust the kingdom now.
Alright.
From this point onward, we're in all-out war with the Empire. Are you prepared, Professor?
About as prepared as I will be. I am. Are you?
I'm glad to hear it. That means we can approach the coming battles with peace of mind. First, we capture Fort Mercius. The fighting will undoubtedly be brutal, but we must prevail. As far as this army and I are concerned, you're our last ray of hope. We are relying on you.
Claude has stepped down from leadership, and Leicester is now a vassal state of Fargus. The lords of the Western Kingdom are beginning to declare fealty to us in greater numbers also. The Empire is our only remaining enemy.
Hello there, you two. Sedith.
Fort Mercius is a keep that was constructed to defend the imperial capital, Enbar. We cannot enter the capital without first capturing that fort. But once we have it, the city should be almost entirely at our mercy. Now that we know Rhea is there, we must move with the utmost urgency.
The Death Knight. I shudder to think of him. Professor, you remember my connection to him, do you not?
Yes, of course.
I am still working through the trauma from back then. All these years later. If we meet him, I swear I will have my revenge.
You're gonna have to fight a couple of people to get that revenge, though.
So, we're finally invading Empire territory, huh? There's not much we can do right now, except pray for deliverance. I truly believe that we have it in us to succeed.
Gilbert, your daughter's worried about you, man.
Even in the kingdom, only a few people knew about His Highness and Edelgard's relationship. Me? I always knew those two to be like brother and sister. To think that we would come to see this world, where they are at war with one another. I live it, and can still barely imagine such a truth.
So, you have a quest for me?
I have a request.
Get some resources, like always.
Even in me, to think I live.
Oh, I don't have the resources he's asking for. Wow. That's a first. I think it's because I sold my silverfish. Yeah, I'm gonna say the issue is I sold my silverfish, so I'm not gonna worry about that quest, if I'm gonna be completely honest. I think we'll be okay. I think I'm just gonna spend some time just cooking up meals, getting my students all happy, and... yeah, we're pretty much done with this day, which means we'll just be speeding on through the rest of the month. So, I'll see you in a bit. Alright, we're pretty much done, but I do have a support, so let's go see this report in action, shall we? You're curious to know how Gilbert is doing.
Dear Goddess, please allow His Majesty to rest in peace. Who is it? Oh, Professor. What brings you here at this hour?
I thought I heard a voice.
I am most sorry for disturbing you. The hour is late, Professor. You should be resting in preparation for the day to come.
I could be saying the same about you. Where are you going?
I was offering my prayers to the goddess. It is all that I can do now. I told you I was in service of the royal family, yes? When I was only a young soldier, the king saw fit to make a knight of me. I was given the great honor of guiding and protecting the royal family.
Huh. Guiding?
It was similar to your own work. I was a teacher of sorts. I instructed both King Lambert and Prince Dimitri in the arts of combat, tactics, and academia. I also did all in my power to keep them safe. Until that day, I was unable to fulfill my duty. I was powerless.
You mean the tragedy at Dusko?
Yes. When I received word of the attack, it was already too late. His Majesty was dead, along with many knights and soldiers. If only I had made it to Dusker more quickly. After that, I abandoned my wife and child and fled my homeland. I turned my back on everything I swore to protect. My sins are countless. I will bear the weight of my guilt for as long as I live.
Praying to the goddess won't help, because you're going about it the wrong way.
Apologizing to my daughter and wife, devoting myself to His Highness. That is the way to atonement. And yet, even if I am granted the forgiveness of those who still live, praying is all I can do to atone to those who are with us no more.
Praying won't help you atone. The dead are gone. You can't help them now.
Long ago, there was someone who told me something quite similar. Forgive me. This will not do. As I grow older, I find myself talking endlessly about the past. But it is too late for such things now. I have finished my prayers. We should return.
Alright, well, let's just quickly go through the rest of this month. Just before we go out to fight the war. Well, not the war, but fight the fortress. Dimitri, we don't got a whole lot of time left with you. So I guess we'll work on your spearmanship while it lasts. Although, I don't know if you're gonna get to that S rank in time. To do... At this point, I don't think there's any worth going to gauntlets, so let's have you focus solely on the axe.
No.
Felix. Again, I don't know what to do with you, so just work on that sword. To get that to be an S+. Although, only about halfway there. Unfortunately, I'm not really holding my breath. Ash, well... might skip you for right now. Sylvain. Again, you're so far away from everything. Yeah, might as well look at what you're good at. Mercedes. You're so close. I was hoping... I'm really hoping you get this one done. Thank you. S rank. Black magic range +1. That's what I was hoping for so much. That's why I put her into the sauna. But she at least got that, so I'm happy. And then your tomes are so far away, sadly. I can get you some extra 30, whatever that's worth. Sadly, I don't think you're gonna be hitting the peak of your potential. And as for you... kinda like Sylvain, I don't really know what to do with you, so... actually, probably should have just worked with Flame then. Oh well. I hate to say it, but we're kinda... we're just so... close to the end that nothing else to me seems like it really matters. Oh, it's too late to worry about it.
I've got a question.
Alright. It feels odd to be asking a question as though I were your student, but I'm wondering, what do you think is more important, the most important thing for a tactician to be able to do? Impartialize, analyzing the strengths of both sides, keeping the soldiers in line, avoiding unnecessary fighting. I would say analyzing the strengths of both sides.
Oh.
Because every side has both its strengths and its weaknesses. It is Balthazar's birthday, alright. How about some chamomile?
What's the latest, pal? Got any hot tips for making gold fast? Thanks.
You should talk to Anna.
Pretty good.
You guys have the same mindset. Anyways, tell me about yourself. I'm counting on you. Chilling at the market. Counting on you.
Of course.
Strange fish in the pond, school uniform, a word of advice. Put on a frickin' shirt. Gifts you like to receive, things you find romantic. Working hours for gods. Yeah, no. No, that was the other one. Okay.
That tea was delicious. Hey, think I can drink the next cup in one go?
You probably drink the entire teapot in one go. Just given the chance. Sadly, nothing else really going on, so we're just gonna be finishing this up. Oh,
This will go well.
they're not pulling weeds, they're cleaning up the rubble. Got it.
Here is the...
Good job, you two.
Feeling pretty good about this.
I get it.
It is Saint Cecilene's Day. There'll be a hymn. Yep, as always.
Ah, it feels good to sing nice and loud. Fill my chest up with sound.
Singing in tune with others proved quite difficult.
Alright. Oh, and it's Flane's birthday! Shoot! I don't even see the thing on there. Okay. Well, Flane... Tea of the
I am
Saints.
pleased that you invited me. I am ever so grateful. Delicious.
So, a word of advice, the opera, a new gambit. Word of advice? Alright. Not sure if you'd like that or the opera. Thus you might enjoy the library's collection, a strong battalion. Interested in books? Thanks for everything, equipment upkeep, a word of advice. Aw, she blushed.
You and I are of a rare breed. We should take...
Nod, agree, sip tea.
Oh. You look odd today. Are you feeling all right? Professor! What? That tea was very delicious. Please take care, Professor.
How much charm do you have now? I just thought about that. Considering she was a dancer and everything, she must have a lot of charm. Either way, we're pretty much done here, so next time we will have the battle proper. So, we'll have the battle of taking Fort Morsius next time, so I will see you there.
Happy, I must speak with you. I've realized the woman who held you captive was Cornelia herself.
Oh, yeah. Good on you for figuring it out. You're a little late, though, considering she's dead. How are you feeling about what she said, by the way? You seemed pretty upset at the time. It couldn't have been easy to hear all that stuff about your stepmother and the tragedy of Duscur.
Whether Cornelia's words prove true or false, any lead is worth following.
This might not be related, but I remembered something else about your stepmother. She had a daughter. Her daughter was staying in the kingdom at one point, but Anselma couldn't see her.
Her daughter. Neither my father nor I knew that the Imperial Princess was in Ferdiad at the time.
Oh, that's not what I heard. I heard the king wanted to keep the child away from Anselma, so he hid the fact that their daughter was nearby.
She believed that father hid it from her? What could he have gained from such a thing?
No clue. Sorry, but I'm the wrong person to ask.
As she was seeking asylum from the Empire in the kingdom, Lord Arundel was obligated to hide the Imperial Princess's whereabouts. If her location had gone public, the Empire would have demanded her return. She would undoubtedly have become a political pawn in the kingdom as well. The decision to hide her was not my father's. I did not realize until much later that the girl I'd met under such strange circumstances was my stepsister.
So then, why did Anselma think it was all your father's doing?
I can only speculate, but it seems there was a misunderstanding between her and my father. Although she was the queen consort, in truth, my father and stepmother were not even allowed the dignity of being alone together. And the one who persistently inserted herself between them was their intermediary. Your captor. It was Cornelia herself.
She hid it from Anselma.
I believe so. Meanwhile, she may have hidden my stepmother's presence from Lord Arundel as well. If Cornelia caused my stepmother to miss out on seeing them, exhorted her, used her, and then also caused the tragedy.
I'm surprised she pulled one over on both of them. She was pretty reckless. But in a way, it makes sense. She loved causing pain. That's why she used me and discarded me without a second thought.
I fully agree. Countless people have been subjected to undue suffering as a result of her behavior. That is why I would like your help with something, if that's agreeable to you. You are my only hope.
If you put it like that, I can't exactly say no, can I?
I wish to learn all that you know about Cornelia. If I follow the traces she left behind, perhaps I can finally learn the truth of the tragedy. And perhaps I'll also be able to find a way to lift the curse she placed upon you.
Oh, that would be nice. The people from the church couldn't figure out a solution, so I won't get my hopes up.
That is perhaps for the best. That said, I am a stubborn man who is not often inclined to give up. I will not allow history to repeat itself, neither the tragedy, nor your own personal torments.
If you're going to be so intense about this, I can't help but get my hopes up. But it's not always easy having me by your side. You always need to be on guard.
You have my word. Should 1,000 beasts raise their claws at me, I will happily send them running.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that, Dee Dee. Though it might be kind of fun watching you tear those monsters to shreds.
Is something the matter? Your heart does not seem to be in your training today.
I'm sorry. Something's been bothering me.
Idle thoughts do hinder training. Tell me what bothers you.
You were sworn to protect the royal family. But when we met 5 years ago, you weren't in the kingdom capital. You were in Garreg Mach. What could have made a great knight like you abandon his vow?
That is difficult to explain. You are aware of the tragedy of Duscur? When the king's party was massacred 9 years ago.
I am. It affected me too. My brother was suspected of being involved in the attack. And so the church, they...
Forgive me. That must be a difficult memory.
Why are you apologizing? It's not your fault.
I disagree. Had I been by His Majesty's side on that day where I was sworn to be, perhaps His Majesty would not have lost his life, and all would be different.
Is that why you left Fargus?
Yes. You may laugh, but I feel I was responsible for everything.
I would never laugh at something like that. But I do think you should have seen things through to the end. Even if you had to endure dishonor for a while, you could have restored your name. I'm sorry. That was inconsiderate of me. I got carried away by how much your situation resembles my own.
You were adopted by Lord Lonato, correct? I once told you that I wish to protect one thing other than my king, and that is my family. My wife and my daughter, both of whom I left behind in the kingdom. Lord Lonato took up his sword for his son, even if that meant turning his back on the goddess. As a father, I cannot condemn Lord Lonato for raising an army. Yet, perhaps he too lost sight of what should be protected, just as I did.
I don't understand what you mean. What should Lonato have protected?
You, Ash, because you are also his son.
You're right. I think I know what I need to protect now. It's been staring me in the face all this time. I don't know why I couldn't see it. I'm Lonato's son. His pride and his wishes are my inheritance. Those are what I should protect.
I see. Ash, you will be an excellent knight.
It's too early to say that, but I'm willing to learn if you'll teach me.
It would be my pleasure to oversee the training of a new generation.
I must admit that Sylvain is quite handsome. And it doesn't hurt that he's heir to a noble family. I could get used to that kind of life. The age difference bothers me a bit, but I'm sure it would be fine after a few years. At first, it was hard to imagine myself with him, but now that I've thought about it, maybe... Speak of the devil. I think that's him over there.
What a jerk. He was playing around with me that whole time.
You know, you're a good catch. It's a shame that you've had no luck with men. You need a guy like me, somebody who sees your beauty and appreciates how tender you are, emotionally, and how much love you have to give.
What? No way. What are you saying? Can't even tell if you're being honest.
Do I look dishonest? Are these the eyes of a guy who's just playing around?
No, I suppose not. Would you like to go somewhere a little more quiet?
As long as it's just the two of us, and the only subject is love, I'll follow you anywhere.
Okay, that was just repulsive. He is insincerity personified. No way I'd ever fall for that. He is handsome and does come from good stock. But no, I can't imagine we'd have a bright future together. I suppose the goddess does not give with both hands, does she? Wait, could that mean, because of my looks and my singing voice, that I'll never find true love? Please, goddess, I'm begging you.
Praying, Father?
Yes, praying is all I can do. For I am at fault for each death upon the cursed plain of Dusker.
You keep saying it's your fault, Father, but you're wrong. His Highness doesn't blame you. Neither does King Lambert, I'm sure of it. But I guess that's not the issue for you, is it?
It was my duty to protect the royal family. I should have given my life to protect the king, even if His Highness has forgiven me. My knightly vows are still broken. My knighthood is lost.
That's obvious from looking at you, Father. I think Mother understood it as well. But before fleeing the country, I wish you had thought about your family. If only for a moment. Even if the whole world had condemned you. we would always have been your allies.
I am sorry, Annette.
No, I told you before. I don't particularly want you to apologize.
Annette.
Yes, Father?
Take this.
A bundle of letters. There are so many.
Look inside and you will understand. Should the contents make you sad, please burn them.
Father! For the love of... He's done it again. But what have we here? Just as I thought. Letters for me and Mother. And so many. But why? And how? I suppose I'll have to read them if I hope to find my answers.